CryptoStache, wearing new disguises on every gaming streams. Secret agent stash, wearing new disguises on every gaming streams. Secret agent stash, wearing new disguises on every gaming streams. Secret agent stash, wearing new disguises on every gaming streams. Secret agent stash, wearing new disguises on every gaming streams.
Welcome back, agents. Secret Agent Stash here. We are at GIA headquarters, the Gaming Intelligence Agency. Doing it like we always do. Today, we are jumping in for a special interrogation. We have captured the infamous Classy Games, and we're going to strap him down into the interrogation seat, and we're going to make him rate 20 of the top Web3 games, and then shit all over his choices. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the only time you're ever going to get 20 games from Classy Games. Like, this is the only time. I've been strapped. I've been interrogated. I don't know what I'm supposed to do from here. All I know is the GIA apparently is good enough to get me in person when nobody else could. So congrats to you. It's definitely a pleasure to be here again. And I'm sure we're going to shit on some things that people are not going to like. So I think that's always great content.
We are, the GIA, man, we're very resourceful. My agents here and myself, if we need to get into some place, we need to infiltrate, or we need to abduct and interrogate, or whatever it needs to do to get the freaking mission done, we do it.
Now you know, GIA willing to abduct people. Let's go.
That's right. Whatever it takes to move this ship into mainstream, man. We're trying to hit those mainstream waters. But hey, Classy, thanks for joining us, man. Jumping in here, we've done this tier list series for Web3 games for quite some time now. And I do them myself every couple of months. I do my own tier list. I like to update them so you guys know what the latest is. But I also like bringing on some of my content creator friends like Classy here. And that way you guys get an insight on how they would also rate these games. Either they're going S tier or they're wrecked. And that's below D tier. That's wrecked. And that's what we're doing today.
Down bad, yeah, 100%.
You're down bad, man. So let's get to it. Wait. You got anything to say about this class before we start our interrogation?
Yeah, I mean, all I've got to say is, first off, not wearing pants, so you've got that going for you. We've got the shorts here.
We had to strip search him, guys. We had, we brought him here to GIA headquarters. Yeah. We had to strip search him. I don't know, it's one of those things.
You had to do.
He's so dangerous. We put him in another room. That's why we're video conferencing from here.
Exactly. It all makes sense. And
yeah,
I purposely didn't look at the other tier list because I'm like, okay, we're gonna make sure that this is 100% unbiased. I think there were a couple people that were going off on like, oh, this thing can't be S tier. This thing can't be wrecked.
Right.
Let's just check this out. Let's check out this tier list.
Let's do it. So we're ready. Let's go.
Let's get it.
All right. So like we said today, 20 of the top Web3 NFT enabled games. Now, a couple primers for you guys out there. Number one, no game has paid to be here. This is not a sponsored video. No one paid to be on this video. I just do this because it's fun and we have a good time together. Number two, I try and pick games that are all playable in some sort of state, whether it's a closed alpha, open beta, whatever it may be, but they have gameplay. You can play these games, right? So those are the two criteria, the two main things there. So you guys know that's what we're working off of. And, we're going S tier, which is the top, the best of the best. You guys know this. Or wrecked, where this game is just done. It's not coming back. It's not going to survive. It's not going to survive another bear market or another crypto winter. And we're going to bury it.
Throw it in the nether realm.
And then we're going to burn it.
Yeah, throw it in the nether realm, burn it.
And then we're going to banish it to the nether realm. Yep.
Throw it in the compressor, put it in the fridge, all kinds of stuff. Let's do it.
Let's go. All right, so, I like to just kind of do this random order. We just kind of go front to back. We're going to start off with the banger, Axie Infinity. Where do we rank it? What do you think about Axie? Because I know you played Axie. Tell me about Axie and your experience, and then tell me where you rate it.
Okay, so my experience with Axie Infinity was extremely positive. I made a ton of money back in 2020 with Axie Infinity. In fact, that's pretty much where I started all of my channels. I'm not gonna lie though, I have a pretty long history when it comes to Sky Mavis interactions, and they did personally tell me to sell my Axies during the Pico top. They went, oh, if you don't support our game, go ahead and sell your Axie. So I did it. Wonderful decision. Thank you to Sky Mavis. Big shout out to them for that one. But generally speaking, I would say Axie is really interesting because if you gave me the Ronin network, I'd be like, okay, this for sure is going to survive to some extent. It might not be as big as what people are thinking because Ronin is a network in general. They had a bunch of money, but then they decided to lose $650 million because of negligence. But besides that, that's not Axie Infinity. Axie Infinity is a trading card game. It was a little bit fun when I played it. They did go to Origins. There is esports in the Philippines. So I'd go as far as to say that this game is not wrecked. This game has survived a pretty damn bad bear market. Is it as big as it was before? No. Is it bigger than most crypto games still? Yes. Are people going to get any value off their investments? No. Also not financial advice. Not going to talk about that. But in terms of the game, it's D tier. It's just D tier. It's not dead, but it's barely beat.
Going D. Yeah. I personally, I'd put Axie in the wreck tier. I know, there's still people playing it, but there's so many things negative things that we could say about Axie in so many ways.
A lot,
But I love the fact, now I have another one. Thank you for that anecdote there, Classy, because now I have another one to tell people, hey, Sky Mavis was telling people, hey, if you don't support the game at the top, sell your Axies, and Classy did it and raked in the money. I should have done the same thing, and I didn't.
Yeah,
and now I'm sitting here with Axies that I paid a couple $100 for, and people are like they're like, oh, I'll give you $20.
Oh no, I'm still holding a couple Christmas Axies. I just forgot to sell them. I just held a lot more than that.
Yeah. Those days are done. All right, Axie going D. Let's hit to the backside. Wild Card. What do you know about Wild Card? Do you know this game? Have you played it?
Oh, I saw you get beat by Yellow Panther, so that's always good to see. I will
Bruh.
say,
Bruh.
they had the hero spot on Twitch, so that was
I was
cool.
so mad. Okay, look,
What
I don't
happened?
get
Yeah.
I don't get angry when I lose that often. Like I'm not that dude who like rage quits, but this was like this out of there's not been a time in the past couple of years where I got as angry as I did when I lost that freaking match. And there, okay, I don't want to get into it, but love the game. I personally love the game. What do you think about the game?
You guys need a rematch. It's like MMA fights. Somebody loses, you've got to go for the 2P. That's
It's
all I've
true.
got to say in regards to that.
true.
Wildcard is active. The only thing I really hate is it's a console game. Guys, it's 2023. Who the heck is playing console games? I get it. These consoles are like 10 years old at this point. Make a new console and then release the games there. But until then, people are playing games on PC. You can't have a competitive game on console when PCs are worth $2,000-$3,000 with tech that's a decade ahead of its predecessors. So I'm really annoyed about that when it comes to Wildcard. I wish I could play that game. It looks nice. I like the game feedback loop is amazing. I don't know much about the actual economies. I think it's just NFTs, right?
Yeah, so they have NFTs that you buy to make up like your cards for your deck that you play with.
Okay, so it's kind of like Magic the Gathering where they're just going for like collectible cards.
Well, I mean, it's well that's the NFT side of it, but the way the game, you use them in an active battle sequence, right? So, but yeah, the NFT side of it is very much a collectible card style interface and game.
Yeah, I've talked a lot about that one. I don't know if Gods and Chain. Yeah, Gods and Chain's there too. So Gods and Chain, very similar perspective. I think collectibles are going to be huge in this space. They only work obviously with games that have a lot of daily active users. Console games, I could see it. Wildcard is a pretty damn solid title. I think it's B tier. I think it's a pretty solid title. It's a very active development cycle. They're trying their best to work with what we have in the space, and I'm hoping good things from them, but I'm really mad about the whole console thing.
Well, interesting. So let me let you know. So it's not just going to be console. It will be you will be able to play it on PC. So it'll be cross play. So you have console and PC. Right. I think their original early builds just had only support for controller, but they do have keyboard support, and that's going to be turned on here pretty soon. From what I've talked to the team about, personally, I'd probably put Wildcard more like A or S tier, man. The team is phenomenal, and the game itself plays smooth. I think if you actually played this one, you might agree with me. Once you get in and play it, like, dude, it's great. But B tier is still pretty solid. B tier is still pretty solid. I might put them higher.
Fair.
Okay. Talking about hitting the B's. What about Big Time? Are you an RPG player? Do you like Big Time?
So I played a lot of MMORPGs in my time. In fact, I think like Arc World's doing something. I'm huge into ArcAge. Yeah, I'm huge into ArcAge. I played that back in like 2014. I'll say MMOs are really hard to make work.
Oh, I know.
Really hard to make work. And
they're so hard. Even when you make them work, then they break anyways.
Then they break anyway. Somebody finds an exploit, prints out a bunch of NFTs, and you're screwed. I guess that's the good thing about the blockchain, right? But I don't know how to feel about this one. I played it once. I didn't have the most fun in the world. I know a lot of people were hyping it up back in 2021. Since then, I haven't heard too much. I think they're doing a lot of the same things. It's just like dungeon crawling over and over and over. They did have houses, which houses are cool and all, but it just didn't feel like the most fun game in the world. And I think the developers are active. I just haven't heard from them at all over the course of this year. Maybe they're hiding something. We don't know. But I just didn't really enjoy my experience on Big Time. So I'd say it's probably low C tier for me.
Going C tier. All right.
What do you think?
I like Big Time. I think that I agree with you with the content. There needs to be more content, and I've said that's been my continual criticism about Big Time in general. Is it gets stale very quickly. Yeah, there's very little amount of content, in comparison to something like a Superior where there's a good amount of content, and they're coming out with it very. It's hard with an MMORPG like Big Time. You have to have a ton, and they're just not there yet. But I think they have a good start. I'd probably put them a little bit higher too, But I probably played more Big Time than you have.
Fair.
Okay, so now we're getting into some familiar territory for you, sir.
Uh-oh.
So we're gonna go to some familiar waters.
Not sponsored.
Some familiar waters here, Captain Classy. What do you think? I don't know why I called you Captain Classy.
Captain Classy, I'll take it.
Hey man, I'm also a pirate. I love pirates and
Hey.
you know, Captain
Honorary
Stash Black
GIA
Toe.
member. I'll take it.
Yeah, let's go. Okay. Going to the familiar territories. What do you think about The Walking Dead? I know you've played this game. I know you played the game. I played it.
Yes.
What do you think about Walking Dead? This is a Gala Games game. We know that you are a sponsored shill for Gala.
Oh
So
my
tell us
God.
about what you think about this game.
Okay, so sponsor from January. Yeah. So in terms of The Walking Dead, I've played it way too much. Honestly, I think
Oh, really?
that's the game I've played the second most in the entire Gala ecosystem. It's actually being made by Gala. It used to just be being made by Ember, but then they bought out Ember, so it is an actual like Gala game.
Yeah.
They had statistics on how many people played that game. It's actually kind of ridiculous. I think they had like 5,000 people or something like that on a playtest with no rewards at all. It's just people randomly playing it.
Yeah.
And they had a picture filled with a bunch of people. So here's my take on the game. In its current state, it's obviously not S tier. There's a bunch of different little bugs on it. There's stuff that they need to figure out in terms of NFTs and their pricing and how they're going to justify that. That's still, for me, the biggest criticism in the entire Gala ecosystem. You know,
Yes.
I'm not an economist, so I have no idea how to answer that. But the game is sick. It has an awesome IP. The actual zombies are actually pretty hard to kill this time around. They make them a lot harder than
Yeah,
what
they're
before.
way cooler this time.
They're
too,
way
man.
cooler. They
Way
have
cooler.
Guns now. Crossbows rain fire on your enemies.
Yeah.
Katanas are sick as hell. There's PvP zones, which, I mean, nobody killed me on that playtest, so big shout out to all the people that tried. And overall, this is easy A tier for me. I don't know if I'm biased or what, or I'm Moon Boy, but A tier all day.
A tier all day. I don't know what you guys in chat think about The Walking Dead, but I would love to hear your guys' thoughts too. So, you know,
Let's look
8-Bit
at 'em.
Tendies in chat, he says big time. He would say B tier for big time. Also, he's saying Walking Dead A tier. I also would put Walking Dead A tier, man. I'm right there with you. I played in it. I actually had a lot of fun. There was so much more that they added. It really is starting to come together as a game, and I love obviously The Walking Dead as a IP. Like, I'm just a big Walking Dead fan.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, I think you know, does it have 90s graphics? I don't think 90s graphics. I think it's meant to look like that because it's a mobile focused title.
Yeah.
It's a title that should be able to play. You know, I think that's really what they're trying to do is make it a mobile game, right? I think right now it's in its early stages and they're letting you play on PC. But I do think that this will land in mobile. What do you think? Do you think this is going to be a mobile title?
If it's on mobile, it's S tier. But if it's not on mobile,
Yeah.
then it's A B tier.
Right, I agree. I totally agree. I think this is a great mobile game, and I would love to see this coming to mobile. So. Graphics are overrated. Yeah, I agree. I think graphics are overrated too. I think we're at a point where we realize that as a community now. Not I mean my community, just gamers. You know, it's all about having fun. And we there's tons of great games that are shit graphics but are tons of fun and are played by
Terraria,
millions of people.
100%.
You look at fucking Minecraft, dude.
Yeah.
The graphics in Minecraft are complete shit, man. It's like blocky, pixelated little like pixels. Not even good looking pixels. Like at least I like the blocky look of the sandbox because it's not like pixelated looking pixels. They're
It's
clean
voxels,
looking
yeah.
pixels. Yeah, voxels. So I don't know. All right, moving on. Champions Ascension. What do you think about Champions Ascension? Do you know this game at all?
Yeah, I've worked with the team a little bit, so maybe a little bit biased. But Champions Ascension was an interesting one. I'll say initially I didn't have high hopes for Champions Ascension, but then they had the whole like dissolution with who they were working with, and now it's looking a lot better. I know that they're a lot more community oriented. In fact, they have a lot of playtests. It's getting pretty ridiculous at this point. Champions Ascension has a gladiator mode. It has the whole gambling aspect with the tickets, and then they've got the whole like drunk racing. I thought that was pretty cute.
Drunk
Right?
racing.
Yeah, you could probably do a bunch of different little challenges there. I'm sure
Yeah.
that it's going to become a lot more expansive by the time they actually fully release. I enjoyed the gladiator arena. There are some very overpowered gladiators, but I'm sure that's, you know, something every game developer has to deal with.
Oh,
They
yeah.
recently introduced like 2v2 and 3v3.
3v3. Yeah,
So that's
3v3.
cool. I'm
Yeah,
glad
it's
that
really
they could
cool.
do that without it crashing, right? So I'm really optimistic on Champions Ascension. I know you have something on Champions Ascension too, right? You've got a little stash on there.
I do. So yeah, I got an honorary GIA headquarters put into Champions Ascensions into their metaverse. So you can go there and you can see our gaming intelligence agency headquarters there in Champions Ascension. And you can't go inside just yet. But I also got to name the bartender as well. His name is Gregory. He has a sweet
Really?
mustache like me. Yeah.
Yo, Squiddy, where you at?
Hey, well, hey man, me and Champions Edition, we go
Where's
way
my
back.
butler? Hey,
We go way back, man. We go way back.
that's
So,
awesome though.
all
Yeah,
right, but where
congrats on
do you
that
put
one.
where do you put in Champions Edition?
Oh, geez. Okay, so Champions Ascension, I'd put it probably lower A tier, behind Walking Dead Empires, because
Okay.
I think it's a really good title. I don't know what, and the thing is, they worked on the lore too. They have the Aether Wisp. They have a way cheaper entry than most other projects
Oh,
because
yeah.
they want to include everybody. You can play for
Yep.
free. I think it's a good title. It's so early that I have no idea what the end product is going to look like. I have
Yeah.
maybe a glimpse of what it is, but let's be honest, it's going to be totally different by the time it actually comes out.
Well, yeah, I mean, like right now, I think that they have the beginnings of a really cool kind
Yeah.
of game that has an open world element to it, and so it just adding more elements. So you're right; they're right on that track. I'd agree with you. I agree. I think A tier is solid. A tier is solid. What do you guys think about Champions Ascension? I know that we have some CA fans in the chat, but have you guys seen me play Champions Ascension? Did you see that I got my elemental was the first elemental that they added to the game? Those are the new like approachable NFTs that they just did a drop of, and I randomly got like one of the highest tier NFTs from that drop, and then they said, Stash, we know you got one of the highest tier NFTs. We're gonna use the model of your NFT as the first one we're gonna put in game, and you get to name it. And I named her.
Sick.
Yeah, I named her Afflictress. So Afflictress, you can go play Afflictress, and that is my NFT character that I named inside of Champions Ascension.
Oh, you're killing.
Am I biased? I mean, maybe a little bit, but I love the game. I'm biased because I like the game, and that's
How are you
nothing wrong
supposed
with
to
that.
not be biased there, right? Like,
Yeah, right.
come
I mean, well,
on.
no, I mean, I asked for all these things and did all these things and worked with these things with the team, not because they paid me, just because I thought it was interesting and cool and fun. Like, yeah, I want to do some cool events. Yeah, I want to go fight people and beat them up, and then
Yeah, I mean, some people need to realize it's the bear market. Most of these companies aren't shelling out nearly as much as what they were shelling out before. If people are covering projects at this point, it's mostly just like passion, right? Like you actually enjoy the game. You want to connect with these people. You want to build a relationship for better times because you're hopeful in these projects. It's more so that than just like back in 2021 when we just covered anything and we were all just weirdos.
Yeah. No, that's true, man. It's true. This is a quality game that can definitely, I think, attract a lot of people because there's a lot of really interesting things to do there besides just the one core game mode. So, all right, moving on back to familiar territory. This is everyone's favorite. What do you think about Townstar?
Oh no. Gala's gonna kill me for this one.
Give me just go raw. Go straight raw and just give it to me raw.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to you. So Townstar, I hate the game. I think it's so boring. I've never liked the feedback loop. I don't like city building games. They make me fall asleep. Jason, to be fair, I said it in his face, and he was like, "Fair enough." He doesn't like those kind of games either.
I know we talked about it as well. I said the same thing to him.
I'm a little honest when it comes to that stuff because I mean, there's so many games, right? So you just have to like one of them. But it's like, it's the economy died. They're having a revamp, but then Godot got delayed, so I have no idea how that's gonna end up looking. Hopefully, it goes well for them. I know Silk even was revamped recently, which is I think a game that's on there, right? Spider Tanks. Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But Townstar, oh my god, it's not wrecked because they're revamping the economy. I feel like I would put it in front of Axie, and that's where I would just leave it. In front of D tier. We'll leave it there. Hopefully, at some point, it comes back and Godot actually ends up being something good. I feel like they have enough money to bring it back. So hopefully, when they revamp this with all the NFT sales, it'll be something half decent. You don't have to give people $3,000 a day. Just give something playable that's fair, that isn't bought into shit, and then we're good.
It should be max $1. There should be a max on the earnings. You can only earn $1 a day. Once you hit $1, that's done.
Exactly. Yeah, just give the people that spend $50,000 on the NFTs just $1.
That's actually not bad. If you think about $1 a day, that's $30 a month, right? So is that going to be anything significant for somebody here in the United States playing? No. But it'll still be. It's like, oh, cool, I earned $1.
Yeah, but you can't do that for a game that's already out and people bought.
No, I know, and that becomes right. It's short-sightedness.
Yeah, a little bit complicated, but I get where you're coming from. I would say Generation 2 NFTs, question mark. Maybe. There you go. Just the thing is, at that point, the ancient holders are just going to be milking the game. So it's so complicated. I don't know what they should do.
Well, right, and so we can talk a little bit more about that with NFT pricing, but I would put I would put Townstar in the wreck category, man. I don't think they're going to come back. They're going to revamp and do things here, but in the long run, I just don't think it has the legs to do anything. Even with the Zynga guy, like he's like, well, we took these big mobile games, like the ones everyone knows, Farmville, all these ones. We did it. We're the guys. I'm the guy. And that's cool,
he
man.
Is the
but
guy, yeah.
he is, and I give him props. But you're taking that same game and trying to reinvent it, but like not doing anything new. It's like this Townstar is like every other town builder, nothing new, nothing interesting, nothing different at all.
Just NFTs.
So you got to come with something, man, and I don't know that they have enough for that.
Well, hopefully V2 works.
Yeah, let's see. Okay, but what do you guys? I saw 8-Bit Tinny says Townstar is C. What do the rest of you guys in chat think about Townstar?
Yeah, why is it C tier? Is it because he spent money on Townstar or what?
Yeah, probably. He's like, pump my bag, Stash. Classy,
Like,
pump my
yo,
bags.
dude, listen, there's some Gala games that are a little sus, but there's a lot of good ones. So it's
Yeah,
all right.
no, for sure. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts too. Go ahead and feel free to put your thoughts in there. So when we're rating a game, you rate the game too along with us. Why not? It's fun. We want to hear from
There you go. Cheers.
Okay, next up on the list, we're whittling it down. What do you think about Dead Drop? Made a lot of splashes here recently.
So I'm a little biased. I owned a Founders NFT. I did buy it on secondary market. It was a little bit expensive. I played on the Bryson Dead Drop. I got like 5 rounds in, so I'll say that's a success to me. I had a lot of fun. It's a game that's very early on in alpha. I can more than de facto say that. It's very obvious.
Mm-hmm.
The game also has exploits. It has bugs. So, Dead Drop's a little sus. I will say, though, in defense of Dead Drop, this is a game made by Dr. Disrespect. In terms of creator economies, there is so much money flowing into us. So I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of different games coming out. I know Shroud already said he was going to do one.
Yeah.
A bunch of different creators advising in these different projects. I know Define has like this big shooter FPS streamer on there. So I'm really bullish on these projects because they have the connections to actually put together really solid teams.
Yeah.
Now, here's the only thing. Just because you have a really good team doesn't mean you're actually going to get a good product out there. You can have the makers of World of Warcraft making your game, but just because they made WoW a success doesn't mean that your new game is going to be a success all of a sudden as well. You have to innovate on a previous proven concept. Vertical extraction shooters sound really sick and they look pretty sick, but the whole like looking down and then shooting everybody, and if you look up, you instantly get one-shotted. That might be something that they have to solve over time. I'm not certain how they do it. Maybe they make the map a little bit harder to see downward, and that'll make the game better. I also like the fact that people in Web 2 are playing it. That's cool and all, but it's definitely not S tier. It'll be for now because the game is trying something new. The game is repped by Dr. Disrespect. The game is trying something, but I feel like it's so far from being finished. I think we'll put it behind Wildcard. We'll put it low B.
Going B. All right. I mean, I think some of your criticisms are fair. I think some of them are unbased, but I would put Dead Drop a little higher than B. I think there's a lot going on there, in particular. Not just Dr.
You also went
Disrespect.
to the event, yeah. That's nice.
Yeah, but the team and just I obviously have quite a bit of behind the scenes stuff, but yeah, man, everything I've seen from them and their development cycle and how quickly they push things and
yeah, I mean, I own an NFT, so I definitely am bullish on them.
Yeah,
I'm excited for it.
All right. B tier, Dead Drop. What do you guys think about Dead Drop in chat? Is it B tier to you guys, or what do you think? I want to hear your thoughts. While we move on to the next one, we're going to talk about another Gala game here. A fave, Superior. What do you think about Superior?
Okay,
The Rogue Light. Rogue Light. I like saying it like that because some people get mixed
it is a
up with
roguelite, yes.
Rogue Light? Did you say Rogue Like? Stash? I said no, light. Light?
Rogue Light? Okay.
It's like Rogue and Rogue Light. It's Bud and Bud Light. Coors and Coors Light. You got Rogue and Rogue Light.
Like, yeah, it's kind of like when you get that Diet Coke, but it's actually just pretty much Coke with random other ingredients on it. It's an interesting genre. I'll say a lot of it is really sick soundtracks. It's that feedback loop with the powers. So Superior being made by Drifter Entertainment, they've made some solid titles before. I know that they're making another one too with like spiders and stuff. So I guess Spider Tanks 2.0 is coming out at some point.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You know, Superior, it's a really good game. I also own NFTs in the game, so I'm very biased. So disclosure. But Superior, it's had pretty fast updates. Every time I stream Superior, Drifter Entertainment is literally always there. And that's not
They
something
are
I
pretty
can
cool
say.
about that, actually, man.
They
Yeah,
are,
I've also
yeah.
had the team. They're very supportive, which is great.
They're very supportive, and it's not something I can say that other games on the Gala Games ecosystem do. A lot of them are very shy. They don't really talk. Drifter's like, okay, straight up, Classy, tell me when this bug happened. Tell me when this happened. Just roast me all day, and I'll fix the game. And that's what I love about game development studios.
No, that's good.
If you do that, I'm like, okay, immediately, you're way higher on the tier list. And then not only is that game about to come out, I mean, the game's practically out. It's early access, and it's, what is it, Q1 release? So it's very, very soon. In fact, their play to earn, well, it's Q2, right? Play to earn is also supposed to come out very soon. They did delay that, but that's like more Gala than anything. Man, Superior is really good. I would put Superior easily above the Walking Dead Empires. Would I put it S tier? Oh, sheesh. That's a hard one.
You can't, I mean, it has to go S tier if you're going to put it above Walking Dead.
That's such a hard one. Because if we put something S tier, then I have to think about the other games and whether or not I would put them on S tier.
That's
because only one game can go S tier, huh?
No, you can put as many as you want S tier, man.
Oh no. Okay.
It doesn't have to be only one.
Put it on the highest of the A tier.
Well, it's just A. Like we don't like put it like order, like
just put it on the top.
A2.
No. That's how I do my tier list. Top of A tier. Put that on the left hand side. Okay, great.
All right, we'll put it just for you.
Yeah, because
but we're still going A tier. We're still going A tier.
I love Superior. Okay.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I think we see some people a little bit of difference. So, 8-Bit Tindy says S tier. Agent Jaxie says B tier for Superior.
Yeah, A+ for sure. A+ for sure.
A.5. We got an A and a half.
I'd give it A&a. Yeah.
We don't have an A.5 tier, unfortunately, guys. We don't have an A.5 tier. But I will say just real quick, I saw that Agent Jaxie, he's our community manager. He just posted in chat about the cool collab we're doing with Decentraland. I have a cool custom Secret Agent Stash skin that you guys can get for free to play with in Decentraland.
That's
we're actually
I gotta get that.
We're giving a bunch away in my Discord. I think right now 20, and we're gonna keep doing a couple because we're doing a big event next week in Decentraland. So if you guys like Decentraland, just quick, hit the Discord link. I just put it in chat there for everybody. And you can jump in there and jump in the giveaways channel and enter that giveaway. But they're free NFTs, so you can use them inside Decentraland, and they have some utility because you can actually they're actually attached to Ice Poker, and they have some like Ice Poker stuff on them, so it allows you to play a couple of games of Ice Poker, I believe.
You can actually earn the whole Ice Poker thing, right? Because all you need is an NFT.
Yeah,
it's free, guys. Just get it.
Yeah.
Come on, no downside.
So you can go to the Discord and do that, and we're giving a bunch away, which is going to be fun, and we got a couple more giveaways coming. So, anyways, just quick selfish plug because he popped it in chat, so I had to
shameless.
We had to just plug it away. Yeah. Okay. Moving on here to our next game in the list, Eevee.io. What do you think about Eevee?
So I've played a lot of Crunker back in the day.
Oh yeah, Crunker, man, yeah.
Yeah, this reminds me a lot of Crunker. Eevee.io is pretty much just Crunker. I mean, what else does it have? It has that zombie mode, which I think is pretty cool. Eevee.io is a pretty fleshed out IO game. It has esports tournaments, so they do have that base there. I also think they have a bunch of people playing the game, so the game has been successful. Their NFTs are just, I'm pretty sure they're just skins. I mean, you could play with any weapon, so I think that's awesome. Do they have cases?
There's no wait. Yes.
They do? Okay, fair. Okay, so they're the same thing as CS:GO. Yeah, I like that model a lot. I've spent too much money on CS:GO. But yeah, I think Eevee.io is nice, but it's not a AAA game. It definitely has a lot of players. It's not a bad game. Like I couldn't put this game on B tier. Oh my gosh, I'm putting too many games on A tier. Eevee.io, I like this game. I like this game a lot.
You gotta rate it. You gotta say like.
I'll put it low A tier. I'll put it low A tier.
You going A tier, huh? All right. Put Eevee on the same tier as Walking Dead, Superior, and Champions.
It's a solid IO game. It's just like, how could you compare a AAA game to an IO game? There's no comparison.
You have to. That's what this is about. You have to.
It doesn't make any sense. It's just a good game.
You have to compare them. That's the whole point. It doesn't have to make sense. Does it have to? Really?
It doesn't have to make sense. Let's go.
No. All right, Eevee Dial, go in A
I'll
tier.
get roasted for this one.
Go in A tier. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I like Eevee. I think it's a fun game. I wouldn't put it A tier at all.
I play too much Crunker. I think that's the problem.
But I do like Eevee, man. The great thing about it is just being able to jump on so quickly as a new player or returning. It's just you load the browser up, boom, within half a second you're playing a match.
They're the only ones that get the friction right. They just throw you into the game, and then if you want to do something, you can.
Yeah. Okay, so here's a game that has just recently launched into open beta. First open playtests have been here. I played it recently. Stella Fantasy. This is everyone's waifu dreams come to reality. I mean, big waifu dreams come to reality.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Very AAA biddies.
They're AAA. They're AAA all the way.
Yeah,
Triple D.
100%.
Maybe it's Triple D is what we should call this game. It's a Triple D game. Like triple
Dude,
Ds.
this game reminds me a lot of a game I played when I was younger. It was called Lineage 2, but then they made a spin-off on mobile called Lineage Revolution.
Yeah, I know
It
that.
was fun, but it looks just like Lineage Revolution. Like Stella Fantasy looks like every other carbon copy Chinese knockoff game or Korean knockoff MMO title.
Anime style, yeah.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel unique. The game looks cool, but I mean, in terms of competing against other mobile titles doing the same exact thing, I mean, like, I don't understand the appeal. I think I'm gonna put it high C tier.
1C. Okay. What do you guys think about Stella Fantasy? Is it your bag? Is Stella Fantasy your thing? Some people really love it. I know I've seen some streamers, some content creators here in Web3 who are like really loving it and grinding it and having fun.
Fair.
And then then there's me.
Then there's you. Yeah, I think it's a fun experience.
No,
but
I mean, like I think it's an interesting game. I mean,
I would get so bored so fast.
Okay, look, it's the cutscenes kill me. I like the fighting, I like the combat, I like everything else about the game, but the cutscenes just kill me. And I know you can skip them, but it's like, I don't know, there's something really about that I hate. So I don't know what you guys think about Stella Fantasy. Don't play Stella when your girl's around. That's true, man. If your girlfriend's around, your wife is around, do not play Stella Fantasy, guys. It will not turn out well for you at all.
That's probably financial advice at that point.
That is that is not financial advice, sir. That is relationship advice.
Yeah. Let's get deep into it. Yeah,
Stash
definitely
PhD.
not recommended.
So going C tier. All right. Respectable. I would probably put it at about C. I think the game actually itself is good. It's just not my type of game.
And
There's
I mean,
definitely
every
people out
other
there that will
MMO
love
on
this game.
mobile- Every other MMO on mobile is the same thing. It's literally, I don't know, if it was something different, I'd be like, okay, it looks nice, but every other game's like that. So how is that one supposed to pop off? It's like saying MIR 4 is so good, it's the best game on the planet.
No, Mir 4
but it's
Mir 4
not.
was
It's the same
Mir
thing.
4 was kind of trash, dude. I hate those auto battler just hit the button and it'll just do everything for you. Like I'm just watching. What do I even get to play?
That's what people on mobile do. I don't know. They're
You
weird.
just get to level your character up now, and it does it all automatically. And then you reap all the rewards and do nothing ever. All right, sounds
Summoner's
boring
War,
as shit to
yeah.
me. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but okay, moving on. Grit, also a Gala game in closed testing right now. Western BR.
Okay, so this one's interesting. I've had a lot more fun recently playing Grit. I will say the game has fleshed out a lot more. There are some problems that I feel like they might be rushing the game a little bit too far. For example, like you can hop onto a train for like the next 30 minutes and just stand on it, even if you're not in the zone, and then it automatically protects you. I think the train game mode in general is just really weird. I know developers love it, so I'm being contrarian here.
Mm-hmm.
I also think that, I mean, Gala pretty much grabbed that one right before it was going to release. And since then, it just feels really close. I hate the NFT on it. The one where you spawn with a gun. I don't know why you do that, right? Like, why would you pay for that? And I think it's like how expensive is it? Like $1,000 or something?
They're expensive, man. The like gunslinger boxes for this game are ridiculous. And I like Western styles and battle royales, and I didn't even buy one.
Why not just sell cases for skins?
Yeah.
Yeah, if they sold cases with skins, I'd be so much more bullish on this title. For now, with where the NFTs are at and some of the fundamental flaws with the game, if it's going mobile, it's definitely S tier, but I don't know if they are. They said they didn't really have plans on S tier.
There's no way they could make this game mobile.
No. So I'm going to put this one probably behind Dead Drop. So I'll put this low B tier.
All right, going B tier. I think that's respectable. I think that the game has potential. I think it does need polish. The graphics, are, I can get past that, but they are, a little clunky for a battle royale, and but
Yeah, the guns
mostly
point straight up.
yeah, mostly it's the gameplay, man. Mostly it's the gameplay, and there's a lot of little things that I noticed the couple times I played Grit here. I played it 3 times or 4 times on stream. They do need to work on it, but they have something. They just gotta kind of massage it a little bit.
They're so close to something that's S tier, but there's so many little things that just annoy me.
Yeah. Nick was like, check out Chalk River. They hit me up, and I'm gonna check out that game.
What is that?
It's another NFT, like Western style type of game. It looks kind of interesting, so I'm gonna have to
Fair.
dive in and get some intel on that. Do some recon for you guys. But that is not today, and we are moving back to the back of the list. And Spider Tanks, another Gala Games, one of the faves, right, Gala? Everyone, Gala loves Spider Tanks, but where do you rank it here? Classy.
Oh my god, I'm gonna be the most biased. This is the one I like the most. I've streamed this one the most.
Going
I've
S tier?
this one the most. I've done everything the most. I am a MOBA fanatic. I was Challenger in League. I'm competitive as all hell. I'm literally doing a tournament in this game in like 2 weeks. So
yeah,
very biased on this one. It's the game I've enjoyed the most so far in this space. Is it the game that has the best economy? I don't know. Probably not. They're still working on it, so I have no idea how to base it off of that. But in terms of gameplay, this is S tier. I've had the most
going
fun
S tier.
I'm putting S tier. I don't care what other people say.
The only S tier so far.
I'm putting it S tier.
Spider Tanks. You guys heard it first here. You guys know, Gala has paid for this.
Oh my god!
It doesn't matter what we do, and no matter how many times I say in the video that this is not paid, that the people on here are not paid, the opinions aren't paid, people, regardless, every time we do one of these, someone's like, you guys are paid shills. You're a paid shill, Stash. Your guest is a paid shill. I'm like, you guys don't really understand how this works, but all right.
Definitely Gallopade.
Definitely Gala.
Oh, it's the one I played the most, guys. I cover Gala.
No, I get that. I mean, it makes sense.
expect?
It's the one you love the most. This is about your opinion. I mean, are we being unbiased here? Well, of course not.
Yeah,
Of course not. This isn't like an objective. Like we try. Obviously, there's some of that there too. But we have to take our opinions about the game into consideration when we're ranking it. I think that only makes sense. Only makes sense. Okay, Gods Unchained.
Okay,
We
so
talked a little about Gods Unchained earlier, but where do you rank this TCG?
Okay, so this is probably one of the few in-game economies I feel like have actually worked and stood the test
Mhm.
of time. The game is fun. The feedback loop is fun. There have been some OP ducks, but for the most part, that's fine. I've also spent money on Gods Unchained. I think that game has been pretty fun to collect NFTs in. I
Yeah.
also think they have one of the most active player bases on Twitch. Like I literally hopped on there for 5 seconds and a bunch of people started hopping on. Very eager for growth, so that's always something good to see. I will say it's a game that has stood the test of time, which is something you can't say for pretty much any other Web3 game that exists.
Beat
right
out
now.
Axie. Beat out Axie. And they launched around similar times.
They're doing much better than Axie Infinity ever were to do. Gods Unchained is a really good title. I think it might be outdated though in the grand scheme of things. I love this game though. Gods Unchained has been fun. I'm not a trading card game fanatic, so I'm going to be very biased with this one. I would rather play Grit than Gods Unchained, so I'm going to put it high C tier, but I like the game. I just probably wouldn't play it much.
Got you. Okay, that's fair. I played Gods Unchained since the beginning. I was in the closed beta for the game and tested it since the beginning. I really love the game. It has fallen out of my favor over the last year.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily anything to do with the game itself. Like I didn't leave because X. It was just it's time commitment. It takes a lot of time to play this game, and then just like knowledge you have to have is significant in comparison to other games, right?
You have to love
the
it.
amount of knowledge you have to have to play it, like an extraction shooter, an FPS is significantly less. You need to know about thousands of cards, right? Or 1,000+ cards for Gods Unchained. It just takes a lot longer to be able to have a match and do that and play it, and so I just haven't had as much time or been as much focus on it. I do like TCGs though. I might put it a little bit higher. I might put it at a B. I think I would put it at a B. They're mobile. Once they launch mobile here, like which they've been really close to.
That'll
it's
be
not
easy
out.
B8 tier.
Yeah, I think that will really set them up a little bit higher and put them in competition with like a Hearthstone and a MTG Arena and a couple other ones out there, popular ones out there.
Yeah, I'll say they're the one that has stuck around the most, and I'm sure that team has had a lot of experience in terms of marketing. So when mobile comes out, that's the big catalyst for them, probably.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, another big one, another old school OG, the Sandbox. What's your experience with Sandbox?
Uh, so I know you're
0?
doing something there. I played the game. I didn't really have fun on it. I feel like people just spend so much money on it.
What
Like
game?
what I played the what was it? The alpha one where you had like a basketball you had to shoot, and then you had some zombies you had to kill, and then you had to hop around this parkour stuff. I don't know, like it was kind of boring. I don't know. Am I weird here? And then the whole like Snoop Dogg thing, people spent $140,000 to be next to him, but I feel like he doesn't care about the sandbox. I also met up with the sandbox, so they're very excited to be building their game and doing all these different partnerships, which is awesome. But I have no idea how the heck the actual land is going to retain its value. So I think it's kind of wrecked.
Going wrecked, huh?
Yeah, I think this one's kind of wrecked.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean they've got to go against the other deeds and the other side. Like, good luck with that one. That's gonna be tough.
Yeah. I'm actually really surprised, man. What do you guys in chat think about that? I want to hear your thoughts about Sandbox being wrecked. Below Townstar and Axie Infinity.
Yeah, I don't know.
Bro,
I don't see this one
you're
coming back.
you're so off base here, and that take is so trash. I mean that's as trash as I've taken that I could ever. Now I can understand that maybe you don't have the experience with it, but I can tell you right now, man, there's no way in hell that you could ever put Axie Infinity and Townstar above the sand. I mean, that
I'm
is
not
just
a believer.
mind blowing. Like, do I end the stream now? Do I just end it? Like, we're done. Boop. Yep, I'm done.
I don't know, dude. I think metaverses are sus. Just keep it moving. I love this one because people put so much money into this one. Okay, so Luvium. So Luvium in its base release was pretty trash. But then all of a sudden they got some crazy backing. They sold these land NFTs, and then they got like a AAA gaming studio, and now they've got all these different things going for them. The game has gone from a wrecked tier all the way to either high A tier or S tier. I'd go as far as to say I would put Illuvium in S tier behind Spider Tanks. It's a fucking solid ass title. I don't care. It's a great game. I love auto battlers. I played the heck out of TFT back in the day. I think that they got it right on the dot with the collectibles. They've got it right on the dot with the PFPs and the community building with Reb 3 as well. They're gonna kill it in this industry. They've got every place intact and in store. They have 3 games. So yeah, Illuvium's gonna kill it.
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. I had muted myself when I went to the load screen. Okay, S tier, man. I'm right there with you. I'm like, I want to put Illuvium at the A plus tier, right? Like, I want to put it in between S and A. I don't feel like it's a full S tier, but I think it's a really strong A tier in my opinion.
Yeah, people
Really
will
strong
say the gameplay isn't very good. I mean, they had literally a dead alley, right? Like it was pretty much barren. But
Yeah.
obviously that's not going to be the game in general, right? Like they've done a bunch of these little showcases showcasing all these different maps with little bubbles you can get on and gliding and skateboarding and gliding. There's cool stuff in it. So
Oh yeah,
definitely, I think they're up there.
they got a lot coming. I mean, they're working on a lot of things. I think that their platform, essentially, that they're kind of trying to build here is really cool. The idea of having this multi-game, or multi-level game where you have this mobile component where you're managing your land, and then you have this collectible card kind of component that has to do with the avatars and kind of your identity on the game itself, and then you have the full game, the overworld, where you're running around. You're fighting against other people, collecting alluvials, basically your Pokemon, monster battler type of stuff. But having those 3 components together, I think, are kind of cool. They work together well.
They got every base covered so far.
True. It's true. Okay. Let's talk about Phantom Galaxies. Have you played Phantom Galaxies? Do you know about this game? I feel like I've not seen you talk about Phantom Galaxies.
I've seen an old friend play it before, but I personally haven't played the game, so I don't know how I would rate this one. What are they doing?
So Phantom Galaxies is a sci-fi themed MMORPG,
And they
and
got like
it is
Transformers.
well, it's basically Gundam meets like yeah, it's like a Gundam with I don't know, with like a Mass Effect kind of feel to it, man. So you have like your ship, and you know you can transform into these cool like mechs, and you're flying around and killing pirates, and there's a really great storyline, all these things. But yeah, I mean it's a sci-fi MMORPG essentially.
So they've got like lore and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, the lore is actually they've done a really good job, I think, out of in comparison to a lot of these Web3 games of building up the lore here as they really start the game, like, but doing it in a way that makes a lot of sense in game. Not just like, oh, we made a comic book or we made this story, and like they're actually creating and crafting the lore as they go, and it's actually really nice.
Yeah, I feel like I have to talk to this team because I haven't checked this game out at all in terms of playing it. It looks cool though. It actually does look pretty cool. How does the economy work? Like, is it just NFTs? Are they doing something crazy?
I mean, they have NFTs. It's mostly for access, is what they have, but they did do like a planet sale, right, or land
Okay.
sale essentially, and you could buy some planets and things. But those are things that you'd use to be able to like build your own base on as a home base and stuff like that. So it does have utility in the game, which is nice.
I think it looks cool. Just because I don't really know the game, I'm gonna be cordial with it. I'm gonna put it C tier.
Go and see. All right, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. You know, and the thing too is it's funny because a lot of people were like, Stash, why do you put games on here that your guests have not played, or maybe they don't know everything about that game? And I go, well, number one, it's really hard to know everything about 20 games, right? 20 random games too. Now I do. I know all of it, and the GIA, we know it all. But you guys out there, the rest of you content creators, I can't speak for you guys.
The Lobies, yeah, of course.
The Lobies. No,
little
but
plebs.
for one, it is hard to just know all these games and have played it. Like that is the key. But the second thing, I actually feel like it's actually very beneficial for the audience to see these reactions, right? Because these are the reactions that your average gamer is going to have the first time they come across one of these Web3 games. They're going to look at the website. They're going to see what the website tells them, maybe the trailer they have up there. Maybe they go and search it real quick on YouTube and see what maybe one of their other favorite creators have done about it. But that's about it. So you only get maybe 5-10 minutes, maybe if you're lucky, for that person to like dive into your game and get a first reaction. That's what we're getting here from some of these creators that come on that haven't done that. Maybe they're just popping up real quick while we're talking and get a little bit of experience on it. And I think that's valuable as well, guys.
It's essentially what I did. I mean, I'd still put it above big time, but it is what it is.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, let's take a look at one. This is a game that we both have recently just played, and I've been talking a lot about Last Expedition, and people are always like, "Huh? Last what? I've not heard about that. Like, no one knows this game," and I'm like, "You guys don't even know. Loving this game, Last Expedition from Gala Games. What do you think, Classy?"
Oh my, Last Expedition. So this game was a ton of fun to play. In terms of Gala Games, it's kind of like my number 2 with Spider Tanks, right? It's like I either play Spider Tanks or I'm probably going to play Last Expedition. Now the game is so early on and they're going to change so many different things that I don't even know where to put this, right? In terms of that, there's just too much that's going to change. We saw that last playtest. There were a bunch of things that were broken, and the Ravagers were spawning next to me and munching on me. So
that was awesome.
That was pretty awesome, yeah. And I do like the concept. I think the concept is going to blow the heck up, and it's going to be a very successful title. In terms of Gala, I would say it's probably going to be the most popular title if they do it right. Maybe a little bit more popular than Mirandus, which is a hot take, but Mirandus is kind of structured in that way. I would say Last Expedition is 100% above Superior.
Going S tier.
It's going A plus, not S
Let's
tier.
go.
A plus.
A plus. Oh, A plus.
A plus, not S tier.
There's no A plus. It's either A or it's S. There's no in between.
Put it on the A.
Nope.
It's too broken to be S, but it's so cool.
All right, it's an A. Yeah, I mean, they're in a very early state right now. You saw in the playtest that they had a lot of items and areas and elements that were in block out still. So I think that you gotta, but for that, I mean, man, it was still hella fun. I had so much fun. I was like, I can't stop playing. And they're like, no, it's over. We're done. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, it was like shot calling in the game and everything. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah, it was fun. All right, so yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. I would put it A or S tier. I really feel like Last Expedition is going to be an S tier game. Even right now, I feel like it has, it feels the same as Dead Drop and Wildcard.
It does. Yeah.
It makes me I want to keep playing. I don't realize how long I've been playing, and it's just all fun. It's all fun, and so that's I would agree with you on that one. Okay, what about the all the bunnies, all the rabbit holes? What do you think about My Pet Hooligan? My Pet Hooligan, MPH
So
for short.
I've seen your video when you did your investigation on them, and you visited their
I
headquarters.
infiltrated their
Yes,
headquarters. Yes,
you did
not seeing-
infiltrate them. I did see that. I've also seen when they start blowing up cars with the guns. That was always cool. I think there's PvP in the game, so people are
Yeah.
shooting each other at some point.
That's the main. Yeah, it's a battle royale PvP.
I've never been a fan of their art style. I also don't know how any of it works, right? I don't know how the game works. Is it a party game or is it just like GTA where it's just open world?
Yeah, well, no, it's like right now they have an open world, but they have battle royale and a couple other modes coming
Oh.
for the next update, which is happening here in actually I think
Hmm.
just 2 weeks.
Yeah, I feel like it's like a Blankos on steroids.
Yeah,
Would
kind
that
of.
be a crazy
I mean, a little
take?
bit. Yeah, like a more polished Blankos and a little. They went a little bit of a different direction, obviously, but yeah.
Yeah, I haven't played it too much, so I don't know where exactly to put it. Maybe we'll go, let's see. We'll put it B tier.
Go
Because
on B.
I do like the studio. I do like the passion that they put into their project. I do
Yeah,
like
huge
the
team.
gameplay loop. I don't like the art, but I mean that's just subjective. That could just be me being weird. I think it's a B tier for now.
Okay, solid.
Yeah.
All right, man. I can get down with that. What do you guys think? So I think some other people said B tier as well. What do you guys think about My Pet Hooligan? We've featured it on the channel here a couple times. We played it a bunch. I like it. I think that they're really just getting started. But the cool thing about them is they're really building out a brand.
They
Versus
are,
how
yeah.
a lot of these other games are kind of going about. Like they are really brand focused, and because they come from like Pixar, Disney background, I really think that they're gonna really push that element, and it's gonna be what
The
makes them
Hoolie?
stand apart. What's that?
The holy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just in general, like the way they go about doing their branding.
I think
They're-
it's
they're-
really cool too. 100%.
They do a really good job of it. But yeah, like Hooli as a character and just like the characters in general, I feel like they do a really good job of that.
I feel like it's really hard to rate things when you haven't played them.
It is. No, for sure.
Yeah,
Not
that's
gonna
pretty
lie,
much
man.
where I'm at because it looks like a good game. So maybe I have to try it
is.
sometime.
Yeah, it's hard. That's what I'm saying. You could look it up real quick or whatever, but it is difficult. And I think that the same thing would happen to me if someone asked me like some game I've never played. I'm like, I've never played it. I could look at it real quick and give you my quickie opinion.
It looks cool.
My quickie informed opinion. But other than that, unless I've actually played the game, and that's why I said, all these games are somewhat playable. I know that not every game is going to be a game that every guest has played, but that could be pretty difficult to find 20.
Slap it on B.
Yeah. Yep. Slap it on B. Slap it on B.
Slap it on B.
Okay. We're gonna save Miranda's for last. What do you?
Okay.
But what do you think about Mojo Melee? Did you get some Mojo?
No, I haven't played Mojo. I've seen you play it, and I've seen Bryson play it, so that
Yeah.
was always cool. They did a tournament. I almost got invited to that one.
So you said you like auto battlers, so I'm kind of surprised about that.
I do really like auto. No, they just didn't invite me into it, so
Oh.
it wasn't.
He's like, they just didn't.
I would have
invite
gone.
you.
I would have gone.
Aw.
Yeah, 100%. Next time. Hey, Mojo.
Classy, we'll get you in
Let's
there next
go.
time.
You want a higher rating?
hire?
I'm just joking. So I like how the game feels. It does remind me of like Dota though, in terms of graphics. That's a mobile game, right?
Well, I mean, it's browser based right now. But,
browser based.
But I think that I think it will be a mobile game. I think that
Yeah, if they either do it just straight
jump makes
browser where anybody could just load it up, or they do it mobile, that would definitely hide in where I'd put it on a tier list. If it's a PC exclusive, it would be pretty low tiered. I just don't feel like it's just gonna end up being there. But Mojo, it feels good. It feels like it's not the biggest studio on the planet building that game. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
an indie team building that. I'm not sure.
they got a decent team.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily call them. I mean, indie. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily
Kinda.
call them indie, but yeah, kind of mid tier. They're mid.
Yeah, they're mid.
Not saying it in a bad way. I'm not. I mean, I know it has bad connotations.
Yo, Mojo, Stash called you mid.
I don't mean mid as far as qualifications. I just mean as far as size, right? So you talk about indie developer versus large AAA. They're much larger studios. They're a medium level. They're medium size.
There's no universe I'd put Mojo above Gods Unchained. I'd have to put this C.
Go and see. Okay.
Yeah, this is an easy C tier. Gods
Legit.
Unchained is just a better game for me.
Yeah.
At least right now. Probably because I haven't played it. If I was in the tournaments, I might have a
Yeah.
different opinion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Gods Unchained is a very different game and much more complex. Vastly. more complex. Okay, so Mirandis. Mirandus.
All right, the ultimate.
This is
Gala
it, man.
one.
This is the
McCarthy.
big Gala game. People call this the flagship title for Gala. Do you agree with that statement?
Oh, in terms of how much people have spent, yeah, of course. But
Think so?
I
You
I
think this
feel
is the
like
thing that represents Gala as a
I
flagship
don't think
title?
so. I don't think it's the game that represents Gala Games. I think Mirandus
Me
is just
neither.
one of the many games in the ecosystem. I think McCarthy's vision is awesome. I mean, I'm gonna be playing the game for sure. I'm gonna have an elf. I'm gonna do all kinds of stuff in the game. I
Mhm.
also think that they've made a tremendous amount of progress between playtests. Like it's not even close. They also
Yeah.
have a lot of people building that game. Like it's a lot of
Mhm.
people building it. So it's hard to be mad at this game. Like this game has made so much progress in so little time. They're doing unique things in terms of their NFT economy. It's going to be, I think, the first MMO to ever exist that actually tries the whole blockchain thing. So it's the fascinating experiment of hopping on to a world, finding a dragon, doing a raid, and then coming out with an item and actually selling it for real world money. Like the most stereotypical NFT explanation alive is what Mirandus is trying to do.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
I think the only con I'll probably have is the whole like horse sale didn't really rub me the right way. Everything else was awesome, and I love what the team is doing for sure. I'm interested in seeing the next playtest. You know, that's actually coming out really soon, and that
Coming
would
up in like 2 weeks, dude. That's
Yeah.
why it's on here. And so you guys know, Mirandus has been playable. So they have done previous
Yeah,
playtests. Personally, I have not played it. I did see footage from
Yeah.
the playtest though, so I can at least comment on that. But
they don't have a
I-
lot of footage though. Like the
yeah,
playtest
no,
is
there's
pretty
not a lot. That's what I'm
enclosed.
saying. There's not a
Yeah.
lot out there. That's what I'm saying. So, but with this next one, I think we're really going to get to see what Mirandus is like, the direction it's taking and how it's shaping up. Because the previous one definitely did not do that.
Yeah, that's the problem. I don't know how this game would look. I think you're more sold than anything sold on a vision. It's like kind of like Star Citizen. The game
Right, and that's
took a
yeah, you
decade
sell you on
and
the
still
vision
not
like this
out.
crazy grand theme, and
Yeah. If you're sold on the vision, it's an S tier. If you're looking at it where it is today, it's like, okay, well, you've got 3 to 5 years in development still. So there's
Yeah.
no way that I could possibly rate this. I would say with the team that they have, this is easily an A tier.
Going
Easily an
A
A
tier.
tier.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's just nothing that I could really see that could make it an S tier. For example, Luvium's coming out this year. Spider
Yeah.
Tanks is already out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for now, they'll be the S tiers on this tier list. In a year from now, this tier list is going to look very different. But right now, that's where I'm leaving it.
Yeah. No, I agree, man, and that's the reason why we continue to do these tier lists, because the games in Web3, the NFT games, change so quickly that it's hard to keep up with them. And so you think, hey, man, this video that I recorded 3 months ago, it's still valid. No,
Yeah,
so
no,
much has happened
never.
with these games. So much has changed. The landscape has significantly been altered over just 3 months' time. So we want to keep these updated all the time. Classy, thank you so much, man, for coming on here and rating all these 20 top games in the Web3 industry.
Yeah,
Thank you, man.
absolutely, no problem. And I really enjoyed the whole sandbox part. I feel like it's gonna make a wonderful video for you in the future when you've got your game fully out there. Maybe I'll be the villain, right? The supreme villain of sandbox.
We're gonna have to get you in there.
I feel like now we have to look at some of these games I haven't played. Right? There's so many different games in this industry. I feel like if I looked at every game, this tier list would be so different.
Yeah,
Because the
true.
perspective you gain from, working your job and only covering a specific amount of games, it's like it feels so biased comparatively when there's so many different titles built by so many genius people that I mean, there's even people from Riot Games on all these different games. So it's hard to be bearish on this space in general. There's so much funding, there's so much awesomeness coming in terms of gameplay creators from Web 2 coming to our space, which I used to be a League of Legends creator, so that's always awesome. So I don't know. I'm excited, Stash. What do you think? I mean, you've been here since 2017 or 2016. How long? You're like a
Yeah.
boomer here.
I am a
yeah.
crypto boomer. It's true.
It's 7 years in crypto is how much in real life? Maybe
That's
a
70
couple
years
centuries?
in real life. That's
Yeah,
70
we'll say
years.
70 years. yeah.
70 years. I've been waiting 70 years for this
Yeah.
industry to get here. That's how I feel.
Exactly.
I feel like I've been waiting 70 years for Web3 NFT games to come to light, but we are here now, and I can't be more excited than what we're seeing here in 2023. The 2023 is going to be the biggest year for gaming with NFTs.
I say it's year
digital
one.
assets.
That's what I've been
Yeah.
saying. It's year one of actual NFT gameplay.
I kind of agree, and a lot. We talked about this on a live stream on Monday on the Round the Metaverse. And it's like, when's the bull coming back, and what's going to be the driver? And I'm like, it's gonna be gaming. And some people are like, no, I don't think so, because gaming's not. I'm like, look, I know everything has hit its thing, but I'm telling you, gaming is this is the first year where it's really going to explode, and people are going to be so surprised. So
Yeah,
buckle
have
the
they
f up.
looked
And
at
if it doesn't happen,
statistics
it'll be
on
the
that?
end of this year going into 2024. You know, is what I would think.
I feel like some of the people that are contrarians there, they don't look at how many people are interacting actively in these games. I mean,
Yeah.
I think there's more people interacting with games than DeFi in general. So it's
Oh,
pretty
100%.
absurd.
I mean, that's just data. I mean,
Yeah.
that's proven.
And
That's
that's
already been
right
proven.
now when none of these games are actually out. Maybe
Yeah.
some of them are operating, but for the most part, none of them are doing anything. So it's going to be an interesting year. And I'm excited to build out this stuff. And I think you're excited to update these tier lists every month too, because let's be honest, they're going to keep changing.
That's true, man. That's true. Well, agents, that is it. This is all we have for today's interrogation. Hopefully you guys got all the intel you needed that we've extracted here from Classy coming on the channel and ranking 20 of the top NFT games in the industry right now. That's all we have for today, agents. As always, this briefing never happened. Secret Agent Stash, over and out.
Secret Agent Stash. Secret Agent Stash. Oh, wearing new disguises on every gaming streams. Secret Agent Stash. Secret Agent Stash. Oh, wearing new disguises on every gaming streams. Secret Agent Stash.